Christmas. It's like Christmas. UPS is here. The goodies are here. Got the transmission apart from the motor. I'm gonna start putting the clutch together. One thing I did before I got started is the pilot bushing that I'm going to use, because I don't like using bearings. I put it in the freezer, so it makes it easier to get in. Also, when you go to install the pilot bearing or bushing, you don't want to hammer it down to till it stops going in like you would normally do. You actually want to let it overhang like 1/8 of an inch or so. That's because for some reason GM didn't have their input shaft fully engage the pilot bearing, and that will destroy itself very quickly if you don't let it hang out a little bit. So here's the clutch. Stage 2 FX clutch off of eBay, really cheap. Stock flywheel. These are the pilot bushings I like to use. Basically, instead of it being a bearing, this is your classic bearing. You can see the rollers inside of it. See those roller bearings? The bushing is just solid. There's no moving parts. So they wear out, in theory, a little bit faster, but if you're having an issue with your input shaft where it would destroy the bearing, it's not going to destroy the bushing as quickly. It's just going to wear it a little bit. So overall, it could be better. Loctite red. Got the pilot bushing hammered in. It went in pretty easily. Here you can see the lip that I'm talking about, letting this thing hang over. And that's so you get better engagement from the input shaft of the transmission. Got the clutch installed. I'm ready to put the transmission on for the final time. All right. Okie dokie. We're starting to mess with these headers. We test fitted them, and it looks like it's going to work with some modification, but we want to get the motor and trans over to the passenger side, and right now we're hitting right in this area. So we're going to take the old sledgehammer and open that up a little bit. Cutting up brand new headers. Who all does this? Just us.
Let me see.
Pie cuts.
The pie cut so we can bend it in, make more room.
Collapse this so that the collector basically sits directly on the block.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can you see cuts?
Yeah.
All right, so we got the cuts. We got this thing in the vise. And now we're actually bending it shut. Opening's closed.
Here's the header. It's been cut in and bent and welded. Well, yeah, it's not pretty, but it works. That's the point. It works.
Gross.
Found another piece of exhaust. We got a whole pile of it out back from like another BMW or whatever. And there's the original flange on the bottom that was attached right now. Yeah. Ding.
This is kind of what we're ending up with. Good amount of clearance between the steering shaft and the headers. You can actually get your fingers in between here It's the tightest right here, but it's still got, I would say, a little less than 1/4 inch. And then it's pretty close to this back bolt here for the knock sensor, but it's not actually touching. And then when we put the actual gasket in, it should space this out away from the motor and a little bit closer to this, but again, not touching. And I'm going solid mount, so that's not going to be an issue at all. This is kind of what this side's looking like. That should be pretty easy to get done. And yeah, so motor mounts after the exhaust. Alright guys, it's been a long night. Gonna call it quits here. Got most of the exhaust done, the clutch is installed, and tomorrow's another day. So probably finish up some more of the exhaust work tomorrow, and maybe start on engine and transmission mounts, but I don't know. Exhaust usually takes a long time. Big shout out to my buddy Justin in the background, little head back there, for all the help tonight. Alright guys, see you later.